news from the Empire.
Having observed the growing encroachment of foreign imperial powers all across the glorious continent of Pangaea, British royalist forces are on the move again to ensure that every man, woman and child in our fair world may be granted access to the boons of true civilization. Soon, the Minister of War, Sir Arthur Mandrake Cloppington, assures us, everyone will know the comfort and delight of a life lived entirely the British way.
As a nation, we awoke to the magnificent sight of His Majesty's dirigibles taking flight to swiftly conquer all who threatened to disrupt the peace required to correctly enjoy our afternoon tea. Wives and children waved farewell to the brave men in whose stalwart hands the fate of their warm, butterfly-laden, lazy summer days now depend.
These men, drawn from all possible walks of life, now stand shoulder to shoulder, ready to push back the lines of chaos. Each one is ready to do a hero's job, and each is, without any shade of hyperbole, the finest military individual ever to take to the air or set foot on Pangean soil.
As the lowly men strike forward, their well-trained and excellently educated officers hold the rear to issue orders and keep a sharp eye on the movements of our cunning foes. Whatever they face, they shall face it with unwavering courage and perhaps be home in time for Christmas.
Many have asked just what it is that makes British Royalist forces the most elite in the world. And here, for all to see, is the answer. Armed with a scoped rifle, brave Billy Devon was a dairy farmer before he received his undeniable call to duty. More familiar with patting cows and hoisting hay bales than cracking the skulls of his enemies wide with a well-placed .303 caliber bullet, Billy now holds his platoon's record for sniping enemy combatants at a distance even larger than his pastures back home. Brave, determined and handsome, he remains yet a bachelor. What do you say to that, ladies? I say, Billy, was it a cheeky wink for the girls back home?
Though we maintain every confidence in every one of our soldiers, the perils they face while carrying out their duty are undeniably real. Here, Corporal Johnny Preston is clipped by a lucky sniper shot fired by an enemy coward lurking behind a nearby hornbeam tree. Johnny does not scream like a woman, however, and patiently awaits the attention of his good chum, Lieutenant Sebastian Stoke. Barely more than a scratch, Sebastian says, but just in case, he applies a few drops of advanced relocational serum that sends the lad for a quick once-over by the brilliant doctors and surgeons back at base.
Death is an inevitable part of war, and we all know that some of our brave boys won't make it home. Here, Sergeant Albert Cumbria takes his last dive for king and country. But the military manoeuvre passed without mishap, and the rest of his team were celebrating back at the barracks within 2 hours of landing on the field.
Solid teamwork is essential for our success, and there's no shortage of light-hearted camaraderie amongst our lads. Here, as the enemy drags its heels to take them on, the men of Winchester Division gather to tell jokes and sing songs to raise morale. Not that their morale needs boosting, given their multiple undeniable victories against our slovenly, weak-hearted foes.
It's important to remember that our enemies are highly dangerous, though it may not seem so, as hot spots of resistance are easily blasted apart by our forces. Other empires will not be easily persuaded to give up their lunacy and to do things the correct British way.
Vicious pirates are our tool, constantly trying to wreak havoc and hamper the progress of the King's forces along the way. Vagabonds of any persuasion shall not deter us, however. It's all a matter of one's sense of values, and very soon British values shall be the only ones available, and there be the ones of which all approve.
Whether skirmishing in cities, hiking knee-deep in snow, or trampling poppies on a distant and dangerous hill, the British Royalists march for all of us, with memories of skylarks and cider, chips and fish, decent biscuits without cinnamon, and cherished loved ones warming their brave hearts.
Our troops are on the march for all of us, to make Pangaea a fine, respectable and entirely British place. We'll wish them Godspeed and the best of fortune in their forthcoming struggles. We salute our heroes, man and boy. God save the King.